Hey guys, welcome to the Reza Guitars and Effects vlog number 2. Thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting us by watching these videos and just kind of getting excited along with us. Today I wanted to talk about a specific topic that we all encounter in our lives. It's the topic of, discovering something new, but then also that failure that comes with it. Because inevitably, we're going to fail at something. We're not naturally good at absolutely everything. I mean, some of us are, let's face it, but most of us aren't. So I just wanted to talk about that failure because it's very important. It's a critical thing that happens in life. But the important thing is, like, what do we do with that failure? Making a mistake is one thing, but I'm talking about like actual critical failure. Because let's say you're starting to get into something, let's say creating guitar pedals. You see all these glorious YouTube videos of people making them, and it's like, oh, that's really cool. And then you pick up guitar, and that's a real struggle, as we all know. And you're starting to get good at it, and you're like, oh, what if I had this one effect, but I just, I don't see it on the market. I want to make it. Maybe I can get into guitar pedals. Cool. And then you realize it's a little bit more than you bargained for. That can happen. That's very specific, but I mean, insert any topic in there. I'm sure we've all had our failures. But it's what you do with those failures, because if I were to go off of the very first pedal that I ever tried to make, this one would be it, and it never got past the board phase. I mean, this is horrible. This little glob nonsense that I did back here. I soldered parts incorrectly. As you could see, some of the parts started coming out before I soldered them, and so they're all over the place. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I would actually call this one a failure, because some mistakes we can fix. Oh, I soldered this incorrectly. Maybe I can pull it out, do it again, maybe put a new one. But that one I would call a failure. And that was the first circuit board I did. I was very frustrated. It was not a good time. And so instead of just getting frustrated and saying, well, maybe I'm not good at this, instead I just persisted, because I knew that everyone fails. And again, it's what you do with that failure. So what I started doing was prepping even more. I started watching videos, I started reading, I started going onto forums, looking up everything that I can to try and mitigate those failures. I really recommend looking at the mistakes and failures of others to try and learn from those, so that you don't make them, or if you do make them, then you know what to do to take steps to correct it, whether it's change a process or physically fixing something that you made a mistake on. And so then I tried again, and it got a little bit better. I actually learned some new things, made the whole process a lot easier, but it's still hard and frustrating. It's like, oh my God, but I knew that with time, things get better. But this time it wasn't a failure. It was just hard. Okay, I can deal with that. And then you keep going, and then you make your first fully enclosed prototype. And then you start seeing results like this. It's like, oh, this is awesome. I'm actually getting some cool results. And then you get that dopamine squirt in your brain saying that, hey, you're doing something cool. Something good is happening. This is a good thing. And then if you keep on going, then who knows? Maybe you'll start making some professional looking stomp boxes, And so what I'm getting at is, you have to learn from your failures. Sometimes what you'll learn is that, hey, this wasn't very fun for me. I'm not very good at it. I understand what's going on, but maybe it's just not for me. And that's a valuable lesson all on its own. But sometimes you learn how to fix things, how to do things better. And maybe that failure will renew some of that spark that got you into the project in the first place. So, anyway, this has just been a very, personal kind of vlog for me because I've been talking about all these failures with pedals and whatnot, but you can insert any subject into here and it would still be true. So, things that we can do before we get into a project, before we start failing, because those failures can be really crippling sometimes. We have that fear, like, I don't know if I want to get into this because I think it's going to be hard, because I think I won't do well, and there are those anxieties and everything that comes with it. And it's true, it's a very crippling thing. Always prepare. So you can go out and read books about whatever the subject is. You can talk to people, find forums, ask questions. If you're a more visual learner, YouTube is an invaluable resource. And for whatever it is that you're doing, I guarantee you can find something on YouTube. And so once you feel comfortable enough to actually start whatever project or whatever activity it is that you're trying to do, then just go for it. You got to have the guts, because it's like that old adage, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And go into it knowing that, hey, there's a good chance that you might make a mistake. There's a good chance that you might fail. But from that failure, learn on those mistakes. Think like, hey, was it worth it? Was it fun? Should I do it again? Can I do something different to mitigate the failure that I just had? And yeah. And try again. What's it gonna hurt? If it's an unmitigated disaster, you didn't have fun at all, it just wasn't a good time for you, then maybe cut your losses, and that's the thing that you learned there. But as long as you learn something from it, whether it's little, whether it's big, as long as you make some kind of change or strive for something different in your way of thinking, then that's actually a success. You heard it first here. Failure is a success, as long as you learn something from it. Anyway, this has been vlog number 2. Just wanted to talk about failures and what we can do with them. Thank you for joining me. Have a good one. Stay safe out there.